Hello and welcome. My name is Jason. This channel is called It's Probably Okay, and we are here to be demigods for your entertainment. That opening is super fun. Thank you, Flo Popey. Welcome all the way from France. Lovely to have you here.
Yes, we love a French entrance. We're here for it.
All the fine folks in chat. Natrina, thank you for going to all the effort of getting caught up and being here to watch live. It is much appreciated, all of that. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's go around and do our introductions. Let's start with Joey first.
Oh, why? Hi, I'm Joey. I'm playing Lee, whose last name I just totally forgot. Something Fitzgerald.
Spencer Fitzgerald.
Spencer Fitzgerald. It's right there in front of my Zoom.
Literally.
Did your captioner turn off, Joey?
I don't think it did. I didn't touch it. Did you do a bad? Nope, it's still going.
Do I have the wrong link there? Oh no, there we go. It's finally reloaded. Okay, there we go.
Hi. Let's try that again. Hi, I'm Joey, and I'm playing Lee Spencer Fitzgerald, the arcane son of Ares, who is just a disappointment to his father, and that's fine. Who maybe is having an arm melted off? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. Let's find out. Someone else talk now.
This is so weird. Your words are like all coming through in a giant chunk. It's not in real time at all. Okay,
That's really unfortunate.
Again,
we're trying out a new setup today, folks, and we're gonna see how it goes.
I'm an embarrassment.
Let's go across to Clara.
Hello, sorry, I'm trying to rearrange my little Zoom windows, but hi, I'm Clara, and I play Stella Hart, former child star, current problem person, also the Celestials, so she knows all your secrets, unfortunately for her. Also probably has cat vision. We've discussed this before, where cats are always seeing kind of into the abyss constantly. And it works because the face I make when I dissociate is very similar to that. Anyway, is that everything? I think that's everything. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Someone else go.
Seems legit. And Pooja.
Hello, I'm Pooja, and I am playing Treyi, the warrior daughter of books. That goes over about as well as you could expect. But since she's, book royalty or whatever, they are forced to deal with her and are attempting to mold her into someone more worthy of the Editrix title.
Excellent.
Is Editrix what we're going with?
This is what we went with last time, and I really like it, so yes.
The captioner does not know what to do with the word Editrix.
The captioner doesn't know what to do with my voice entirely, so I'm just going with it.
Nope, Editrix is getting in there, off and on.
Kind of.
And Minerva.
Hi guys, I am Minerva and I am playing Rosalinda Cruz. She is the daughter of influencer. She is poised, beautiful, Instagram ready, no filter needed, and loves her job, unlike the rest of them. Yeah. Oh, she's playing she's also the elemental. The metal bender is pretty awesome.
Awesome. Okay, also just
hardcore, man.
futzing with our text things here a little bit. Okay, so last time we had a little tussle with a book, and it was not going particularly well. Let's see. I think we had these frame things hidden before. I was kind of going back and forth between these. I don't think we've been using these.
What's happening here?
It's awfully busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Having the captions and having the frames around us.
Yeah,
and
I think I'm just going to put that away until we get a proper stream frame for Media Storm. So the attempt to, just trying to learn how to fix the ley line. We weren't even trying to fix them yet. We're just trying to figure out how.
We're just trying to read a book.
It involved opening a powerful tome and referencing a magical scroll that was sent along, cross-referencing that with Lee's maps, which in the way that, in the sort of parlance we've been using, that ley lines sort of forced a rewrite of reality, like in the Matrix, right? Like there was a glitch, and everybody else's maps will show that the ley line, anybody who maps ley lines will show that this ley line was always in this current position. The ley line that goes right past y'all's cemetery. But Lee's map shows that it's in the wrong place. And
But it's always has been in the right place.
right.
Wrong place.
Okay, actually, I am going to plug my headphones in real quick because it's hard to hear y'all and then not have it echo into my own microphone.
Please wait while we experience these technical difficulties.
You're using
Or not. It's not an audio echo. It's because like the audio does a very good job of limiting and restricting, but web captioner is like, I hear all. I'll say everything. I'll say everyone's lines. So anyway, we're trying something new today. I think we're gonna have something different next week. Sorry, Pooja, what?
Web captioner needs to learn how to read the script.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll just keep trying things until we find the right fit. Okay, so we resume in Lee's apartment with his brand new skylight. Unfortunate for, what do we say, Mrs. Jenkins?
Yep.
Upstairs?
Pole dancing, Mrs. Jenkins.
Yes. Who thankfully is not in right now, but and also no planes were flying overhead
That we're aware of currently.
Well, yep.
I have a lore question.
Yes.
Sorry, I just looked at the captioner. What keeps non-demigods from seeing the bullshit we've been pulling?
So for the most part, mortals ignore it. They just like their minds don't want to see it. It's too much. If they are forced to observe it, they'll like deal with it however they would deal with it, most likely freak out and then forget. Like the memory will fade very quickly.
Okay, so it's just like censored basically out of their brains.
Yeah. Most mortals don't want to have anything to do with it. There are a few, we actually talked about this a little bit last time. There are some mortal, wizards and shaman and holy people or whatever that have kind of seen beyond and have just accepted that. But that breaks your brain a little bit to
I can't imagine what it's like to be able to see beyond. That would be awful for everyone involved.
Why would anyone want to do that?
But fortunately, a demigod's mind is only partially mortal and is able to contain at least some of the nonsense that you live in. So, that's
our minds are able to rationalize it in a completely different and totally healthy way. Absolutely, always.
So the apartment is quiet after Stella had a actually like heroic roll of the dice using her metal stat, which is not something she wanted to roll, but managed to shove the book closed against the incredible power being exerted there. And oh gosh. Chat, did that notification audio go to all of you, or is that just for me?
I didn't hear anything, but I think I also
nothing.
have it
Well,
muted.
It would be out through the stream audio, which you probably don't have on.
That's true.
Yeah, there was a quiet, long song from Greve, but
That was too eloquent. I don't know if that was.
no, that was not it then.
Oh, okay. Fox didn't notice it. Okay. Yeah, notification tune for the subscription. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is supposed to be quieter. Oh, it was very quiet. Okay, great. It was louder in my headset. Okay, sorry to be distracted. I just like don't want to be blasting out people's ears. Thank you for that subscription. Be Right UK, lovely. That's thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciated. Thank you for being here. Okay, so Stella, you've had this heroic moment of shutting a book, and Lee's father has never been more proud. Yeah, close a book. I've been telling him this for years. Why can't you be more like your friend Stella?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Do that.
Yeah, no, Aries is not here and has no comment on what's happening right now.
It's just the constant voice in the back of Lee's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Lee, I'm sure you may be imagining.
Oh no, I totally imagine him currently sitting in some kind of lazy boy lounge chair, watching a war on a TV as if it were a football game.
Yes.
Being, an armchair general.
Yep.
And then getting that notification like, oh, good. A book closed. Finally.
Yep.
That's so viscerally like evocative to me.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's stressing me out.
He's
Can
watching
Aries
a
have the
war.
best dad bod, please?
Oh, for
Especially
sure.
because like my image of your father in my mind is him like at the bar riding the mechanical bull shirtless, still dad bod, while other people are like, why does he do this every night?
And when did we get a mechanical bull?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a great workout.
Zeus brought it.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Friendly note, just a reminder, the fan cast for Daddy Zeus, or not Daddy Zeus, Daddy Aries is Chris Maloney. So you're all welcome.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Claire's
Okay.
face right now.
So, Trey and Rosalinda are back down in the apartment now, right? I think you were able to drop back down.
I think they dropped
We're
down
on
on
the
the roof.
Oh, okay. So you two are on the roof, approaching Lee's hole, and
He said what he said.
are the two of you
The hole was
hopping
big
down?
enough to fit. The hole-
Are the two of you hopping down into the hole?
Sure, why not?
Spelunking, if you will.
Mm. Pooja? Yep. Okay.
The energy we've created in the studio today is happening.
Okay. So, the thing.
You know what? Actually, I don't hop down by myself.
Well, no,
I
Rosalinda would
chimpanzee-
help you.
I chimpanzee latch back onto Rosalinda
Yeah.
and then let her hop down for both of us.
Hang on, spider monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, my knees.
Now, Rosalinda, you're fine.
I take that as a dig against my weight. And
like you're throwing my center of gravity off. Just go a little bit lower. Just shimmy a little bit lower on my hips.
Yeah.
Then
I
three,
will
two,
rub
one.
my burnt and blistered face on your jacket.
Well, while you two are descending, I'm gonna advance our scene a little bit here. While you two are descending, Stella, Lee, you have a moment of a little bit of quiet, and the book is closed. You may be catching your breath a little bit as 'cause Lee, your arm almost melted off. You've been very badly burned. And the two of you are both very perceptive to magical environments in general. And looking up, you can tell, like, people would have pretty much ignored or forgotten the blast of light. But when Mrs. Jenkins gets home, or if any sort of maintenance person is on the roof, there is a hole there that is not supernatural in nature, right? Like this blast through damage will get some attention. Not that people are going to come accuse you of being a demigod, but like it's going to be inconvenient. So just be aware that you two can tell that the thing that makes mortals ignore things it is not going to apply to this damage. So that
I think I do like you're very perceptive, so you notice the hole in the roof. Yeah, I think Stella does sort of look at Lee and they're like, "That's there, right? That's a thing we all see."
Yeah, give me a second. And Lee has put on a persona, not put on a persona, but you are seeing definitely like, oh, this is the child of the god of war. Like this is the like I am fighting through the pain because I have shit to do, and I'm gonna deal with this when I can. And so I'm gonna try to cast a spell to try to repair the hole in the roof because he is had a moment.
Let's check in. Lee,
yeah.
how much harm do you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking -1 to this roll because I've taken 4 harm.
You're at 4. Stella?
I'm at 2, and at some point I'd like to bend fate and mend some wounds.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Can bend fate do that?
Yeah, one of the options is
oh yeah,
one
heal
of the
1 harm.
wounds is heal 1 harm.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. Trey, you're at 6.
Yep. 6 out of 7.
Yeah. And Rosalinda? 3. Okay. So we'll describe you two once we get past this first part with Lee, and then you actually like descend into the apartment. Well, actually, no, Lee, you would have to do that after they descend into the apartment. So let's actually start with Stella's thing, since you were immediately thinking, let's try to get some healing going. Was that for yourself, Stella, or for Lee?
Probably for Lee, frankly. Stella's sort of always looking like shit. So let's fix our friends instead.
And 1 heal will get Lee out of the -1 territory. So
yeah,
even if you can just get 1.
Yeah. Do we got to pick ahead of time?
No, Lee's spells have to do that.
Yeah,
we don't have to do it for Ben Fate.
For character reasons, I didn't take it, but I was considering taking spellcasting as my next advancement. And
we can't because that move is in play already, so we can't have duplicate moves.
Okay, good to remember.
Yeah.
All right. What do I roll Ben Fate with?
Weird.
I do, but I'm trying to remember if I get any bonuses to it.
Yeah, you're weird.
No, it's my judgment. I'm really good at judging people. Okay, so let's see. 7 plus my weird is 1. 8. 8 is good. 8 at least does the correct thing I needed it to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on a bend fate 7 to 9, you get a 1 boon and 1 bane. So you can heal 1 harm, and then you have to take a bane.
I will heal 1 harm to poor Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
How trashy am I gonna be about this? I don't want to take something bad, but do we keep stacking it?
I don't think you do. Yeah.
I want to emote like Clara wants to. Clara loves consequences. I will do that in a different way then. I will give. I'll take I'll take Lee's harm from him.
Okay, you're gonna take harm. 1.
Yeah, and that makes my next rolls a negative if I take harm.
I thought you were at 2.
I'm at 2. So my next one, if I take another harm after this, I'm fucked.
Oh, okay, yeah, but you're at 3 now.
Yeah, I'm at 3 now.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good vibe. Yeah. So what does that look like, Stella? What is that scene?
Oh shoot, because it's not like is it magic? This isn't quite magic.
Yeah.
We established Stella's just sort of a Rube Goldberg situation all the time.
Sure.
But no, I think in this particular case, it does some it actually is sort of like there's a quick flashback leverage style as when Lee is like gets his arm out of the like fire or out of the beam, it's actually Stella pulling him out of it, and so she takes some of that instead. It just rewrites fate a little bit.
Okay, sure.
If that's okay.
Yeah, why not?
It seems like a better vibe than any other weird shit that she pulls.
Yeah, and I think it was a little psychosomatically that you realize that the wound is not as bad as you thought it was. So Stella's able to point it out, and you can see like, oh, okay, yeah, you're burned, but it's, you know, when you're like, you flinch when you get hurt and you're like, okay, I'm okay. I'm hurt, but not as bad as I thought I was going to be.
Mhm.
I actually think when Lee realizes that it's not as bad, he does notice that Stella has the same, like a little bit of that same melting on her shoulder now.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Mhm.
And Lee, that was your right arm, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I would have, because it was me trying to cast. I would have cast my dominant arm. So yeah.
Okay. And okay. So that's a good little moment there. Lee, what is your reaction to Stella stepping up and like Stella's not a healer and has never really shown any indication of that, and you know, realizing that what she has done is manipulated things a little bit so that she actually was there like pulling you away from the fire. You know, you can remember the difference, but what does that mean to you?
I think there's a moment like Lee almost does a double take because there's not something that he would have expected Stella to do. A,
Right.
to heal, and B, to take the harm.
Yeah, and to like get injured in your place. Yeah.
Right. And so there's a bit of like a double take, like, what are you doing? And then a bit of like acknowledgement and like a nod of like, I see you. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
again, he's in this weird soldier mode, which is not Lee at all. But in these dire circumstances, it kind of kicks in.
Yeah, she would fully shrug it off. Like, do not acknowledge this. Do not perceive me.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so Rosalinda, you're climbing down with your
Backpack.
Trey Bjorn, and you return to the apartment. Trey, so you know, were trying to close the book and it fought back and it sort of blasted your torso. What do you, how do you imagine this injury to look? Is it just like overall general burns? What are you picturing?
It is like a like towards the center of her chest, like where it hit first, you get the worst kind of like melting. My clothes kind of melted into my chest. Like there's that bubbling like ripple. And as it goes out, it changes. And then like a good section of my hair kind of burned upwards. And you can see kind of radiating like lines of burns that almost look like it's like the edge of paper when you set it on fire. Like all around like my face, coming up my face and down my arms. And there's a little bit like more like also across my back and everything because I rolled as I went through.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of Trey that doesn't have some kind of burn on it. But it is like this weird texture. Like if you touch the center of her chest, it almost looks like it'll break into ash.
Yeah.
And it smells like, rather than meat, it smells like burning paper and vellum.
Yeah. Now, you had some harm when you came into the apartment, right?
I think I had like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think you had 2 when you came in.
Wait. Okay, because I took the extra 2 harm there, and then I think I had 1.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, because the book harm was 4. And
yes,
that put you at 6.
So I didn't have any because otherwise I would be dead because I took 2 extra harm as part of my really shitty roll.
Oh, that's right. Okay. What I was picturing for that 4 harm is that 2 of it was the burning, and then 2 of it was you being slammed through multiple hard surfaces. You know, so I imagine you've got cracked, maybe even broken ribs. I mean, 6 harm is almost dead, right? Mm-hmm. So that's I like how you're playing that up. Like that is, Rosalinda, you need to like set her down somewhere carefully and be like, okay, let's you know, it almost doesn't do it justice. The like, okay, you have -1 to all your rolls. It's fine. Like this is quite bad.
Can we take a long rest? Is that an option in this system?
No, that's nothing. You're gonna need medical attention or magical healing to be able to recover from this. Now the thing I don't want to do is just have everyone stack up on a bend fate, like a bunch of different bend fate rolls. It is okay if you get the 10 plus on bend fate and you get a 10 plus, you could pick the same thing twice and do 2 heal 1 harms. But I don't want to like stack all in the same action. So let's think about what we want to do about that. Does anybody have a healing move?
I do.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you had taken it.
Yeah, I'm gonna rub. Oh, not literally, but I am going to rub some dirt in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it look like as Rosalinda is trying to apply her healing magic to Trey?
As a metal bender. I'm thinking she would unfortunately, take some of Lee's silverware and then form some sort of an exoskeleton around Trey.
Oh.
So it reinforces her to so that she can take some brunt. It's not like magical armor, but it acts as a second set of skin.
Yeah.
So that she can internally, demigodally.
Sure, like a brace, like it holds everything in place. Oh,
yeah.
And I forgot to mention, Rosalinda, when you two came back down, Razor, your little mouse, just came bolting out of somewhere and like up your leg and is like hiding in your hair. Rosalinda has big hair, right? Does she have like?
She's got huge, like big poof of hair on one side, and everything else is like braided back because that's a lot. But yeah, Razor could just wholly be
she just
up
like
in there.
Jets up your body to hide in there because there's a lot going on.
Sorry, baby. You did good.
Okay, so that move, let me just pull that up. Rub some dirt on it. Okay, well, you're going to roll plus metal.
Yup.
And see how we do.
Come on. That is a 6 and a 5. That's 11 plus 2 is a lot.
Holy moly.
Back.
And you don't have the produce element gift, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that's fine. But 2 people can each heal 2 harm. So you can pick the 2 people.
Definitely Trey.
Uh-huh.
And then splash over to Stella, because sister.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Stella,
I'm such an ungrateful sibling.
You have this like spray of like molten silverware, basically, that kind of goes to try to bind up some of your, or I guess it's your burned arm, right?
Yeah, because the rest of my harm is mental.
That's right. You took psychic damage, basically.
The rest of my anguish is mental. It's fine. I'll heal it.
And no amount of silverware can help that.
Yeah, Stella needs a different kind of spoons to recover from that.
It's sad but true.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that, Natrina. Okay, so that was a good roll.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm rolling a polymer dice and then one of my metal dice. So I think I'm balanced. Yeah.
Cool. I can never mix them.
You're an agent of chaos.
I have the same combo, so Minerva and I today are agents of chaos.
No. Wait, what did you say?
Asians of chaos.
That's
and
what I thought.
agents
Okay,
of chaos.
good.
Yep.
I didn't want to be the one to repeat it, but that was funny. Thank you.
That's amazing. I love to, none of my metal dice are the same size. So it's like one is
that's
very
upsetting,
large
too.
and one is very small.
Oh, I don't like that.
And one has rounded corners and one does not.
No.
What
and
is
one
happening?
is copper and one is silver. So it's like they're opposites, except they're both made of metal.
Why you do this to me? I didn't have to know. I never would have known.
Oh, Jason, you would hate my dice collection.
I mean, I have metal dice and plastic dice. Like, I have them all together, but I pick a pair of the same type and roll them together.
Nah, this is working for me.
Okay.
Apparently it works for me too.
Gross.
No,
Just makes my skin crawl. That's fine.
Embrace the chaos in your life.
All right. So
Although I do have all my dice arranged by size. So And color gradient.
Trey, go ahead and restore 2 health.
I did, yes. Which leaves me still grievously injured, but not on the verge of death, which
Right.
is nice.
Right. And Trey, how you doing with the, like, what is your reaction to, I mean, you know what Rosalinda's doing. It's not like some, oh my God, the spoons attacked me, but you know, what is your, like, what, play out the other half of this scene for us.
I think there's this kind of moment where it's like, I'm like, what are you gonna scoop out all the bad bits? Like, what's about to happen here? And then as they like melt and start to like basically like coat all of these like the worst parts, it's like it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think the
I'm
structure
hardcore now.
the structure of it in particular is reinforcing like the broken ribs and like maybe you didn't realize your shoulder was just, like kind of out of the socket and it like pops it back into place.
There's
Yeah.
definitely like some amount of like a choked off scream when that part happens. Like my shoulder pops back in and like you can hear like my ribs rearranging just a little. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, the
can't
one that
scream
was
because
fully
it'll make it
broken,
worse.
right? The rib that was fully broken.
The rib
it's
that was
almost,
about to pierce my lung and murder me. Yes.
Yeah. It's like getting pins in to reset a bone, right? This like is like pulling everything back into place. And here we are. We're back in the apartment. It is eerily quiet. It's still, what did we say, like 4 p.m. or something?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's not even close to being dark outside. But it is weirdly quiet. And there's a hole in the ceiling. And there's still this giant book on the desk and the map scroll rolled out. And the 4 of you trying to figure out what to do with the ley line that's in the wrong position.
Does it
All right.
have to go back? Oh, well, hold. Then we talk.
Yeah, first things first. I don't need Mrs. Jenkins coming. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I'm going to fix that hole. I know what I said.
Patch it or fix it?
Well, the spell effect I'm going with is hide something.
Oh.
So, because I don't see a fix it option in spellcasting.
I could, you know what? I'm gonna call this one Sensei's fault. And I could see if I could call in a repair crew.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to finish the call-in sentence.
Yeah.
Who are you going to call in?
So there's an entire section of books that are written about like DIY home improvement and home repairs.
Bob Vila. You're going to call in Bob Vila?
Basically.
All right.
Oh, Bob Vila. Is he gonna be here?
So let me just make a call.
He was the original.
Like and we'll see how that goes.
This is great. This is a move that I've written since playtesting and I've never gotten to see it used. So I'm very happy. I assume you're using the reinforcements move.
I am.
Yeah.
I am using reinforcements. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so that is a 12.
Okay. So yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't know how to say. Okay.
On a 10 plus, they said what you asked for, only expecting glorious victory. That's fine. They will have the victory of a successful engineering project.
Real talk, I'm gonna I heard that Janice is a big fan of this old house.
Oh, great.
So, they could get some glorious spoils after this.
Excellent. So
If they want them.
Do you have a a particular novel source that would have something like workers that you would want to employ?
I think that I am going to call in like the Bob Vila plus a set of workers from generic fantasy novel number 17 who were working on repairs to the castle wall.
Aha, yes. Okay. Great. Okay.
Because you always got to reinforce those before and after the castle is stormed.
Yeah.
I'm getting Sabrina the Teenage Witch vibes, like the Melissa Joan Hart version, where like they'll just call in celebrities and they don't mind that they've been summoned. They just like, I guess we're doing this now for like a scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very much the vibe here.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so yeah, your reinforcements set about their task. It's going to take them a bit to get that done, but and you rolled with your fate's favor, right?
Oh, no.
Well, let's roll the third die in case you can max it out and get thread.
No.
Okay. Well, too bad.
Rude.
Rosalinda is setting up a time lapse with her camera to watch the repair so that she can post it on later.
I am gonna ask if this is diffusing a tense situation.
Oh. Yeah, actually, because it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you preempted it, but yes, yeah, you absolutely did. Yeah, feel free to mark that XP.
Thank you.
Honestly, in my head, I feel like Stella and Mrs. Jenkins probably get along.
Yeah, have you like secretly hung out? Like you two have gone out together?
I think that Mrs. Jenkins is just like, I feel like she keeps it tight, and she like has this like that like postmenopausal, but like clearly going through her like second life situation. And I think she's also super into crystals. So I think Stella and Mrs. Jenkins like
Crystal
have
Cougar.
this weird coven, Crystal Cougar, have this weird coven shit going on this
That's
side.
her pole dancing name.
Yes.
Crystal Cougar.
They met at a Pilates class or something, like when Lee moved into the apartment. Like they just happened to already know. I don't know why this is important to me to establish.
Oh, I like that. I love
it.
And none of your friends know that you hang out with her, right?
Like, because I know, why would I go to Lee's house otherwise?
Yeah.
So I think every once in a while, Stella's like, "Oh, say hi to Mrs. Jenkins," and Lee's like, "Why?"
Like, I don't talk to Mrs. Jenkins. Why would I?
I don't talk to any of my neighbors. I live in California.
We took cardio pole together that one time.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like that's how I know that Mrs. Jenkins has a thing for Bob Vila.
Almost certainly, yeah. Okay, so also, Pooja, if it's all right with you, or I guess I'm asking Trey, your reinforcements with a 10 plus, they're probably actually just going to do like a full remodel on Mrs. Jenkins' place and have her come home and do a whole reveal as if it was going to be, filmed, like, hey, you won the lot. Like, she's just going to have to think that she signed off on this. Like,
only if they also give her like the next step up in attached poles.
Yeah.
So she now has the Cadillac of home pole dancing equipment.
Sure.
It's the one that locks and also twists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's got like, it's a whole new stage platform on it, but with the like gym mat kind of flooring. So when she lands like on her knees and stuff, it won't like hurt.
Yeah.
And like
And
the
also
light
some
setup
soundproofing.
A whole new twirl.
I had no idea so much went into home polls, so this is good to know.
Yep. Okay, so what you all have this opportunity that the reinforcements arrive out of nowhere and are working upstairs pretty quickly. They sort of the repair to your ceiling, Lee, kind of just like puts itself back together as the workers kind of like pull things into place. Normally this is work that would take several days,
Takes 42 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah. Wait, why that?
Oh, it's for commercial breaks.
Yeah, standard
Oh,
broadcast
oh.
time.
Right. But yeah, Lee, your apartment is now contained, and there's just a bit of noise upstairs. It's not excessive. But yeah, here we are in the apartment.
All right, so let's unpack what just happened.
I have an academic question, which is rare and will never happen again. Why do we care that the ley line moved if it's always been there and will always be there? And like Stella sort of like gets lost in the sauce for a second and probably will stay there unless you do something stupid again.
Hey.
I didn't say
Okay.
which you. But yes,
Okay.
it was absolutely Rosalinda's fault.
So imagine, you don't have to imagine, the world was created. And when it was created, these ley lines were created to keep things in balance.
Can we go for the abbreviated version? Because
I'm not going to start from the beginning.
I'm still kind of
What's the TLDR?
posting.
The TLDR, Lee twitches having to say that because the whole process is fantastic and mind-blowing. If we don't move the ley line back, it could throw off the balance of the world. It was built in a certain way and everything works that way. If it doesn't go back, it could eventually throw things off kilter.
Okay. This just feels right. And I'm going to ask to do this thing, even though I know it's not necessary. I just need a confirmation. If I use Oracle to just check and see what happens if we don't move it. I'm not asking for a clear visual. Can I still roll it and find out? I just want to peek. You're on mute.
Still
Jason is
muted.
on mute.
You're on mute. Yes, we can work with this. Normally it works as you describe what you want to see in the near future or recent past. So you're trying to go for future, right?
I guess what I'm actually trying to do is roll a pierce the veil, because what I want to actually kind of figure out is the actual harm the ley line or the person behind, or like the thing that sent bodyguards after us.
Okay, well, pierce the veil is a localized experience, right?
Okay.
So we would either need to be at the previous position or the current position of the ley line to inspect that directly. But if you wanted to use Oracle, that can be a little bit remote as you're like thinking conceptually, and it will have a clairvoyant aspect to it.
Yeah, that's sort of what I would like to do in that way, if that's allowed.
But, so there are two opposing things that I want you to decide on. One was you were trying to figure out what caused this, which would be looking into the recent past, or figure out what happens if we don't fix it, or like which is what might happen in the future. So what direction do you want to go in?
I'd like to know if we don't fix this, what happens.
Okay, so we're going to look in the future. And in my mind, this is the sort of thing that Stella has always kind of done, but never like in an organized, like, oh, wait, I figured out how to do this. Right? Like,
essentially, yeah.
When you accidentally play a chord and you're like, oh, shit, what was that? How do I... Oh, no.
when you hit a hotkey on Photoshop and you're like,
Yep.
I've done something.
Yeah, everything's backwards now. Cool. And undo doesn't do it because it's not a like edit choice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely you have to like go find the histogram, like find the history, not the histogram, because the histogram is always what you go to first, but it doesn't work. And then you go to the history and you're like, which version? Like after all the other things that you've changed, it's like which version was the right version? And
unfortunately, my godly parent is the god of it is influencer, not Photoshop, which would have been useful. So
all right. So having conferred with your herald, I'm open to this. Stella, what is your conversation with the members of your weave before you do this?
Okay, so the reason this is unfortunately this is what my character would do. As Lee is telling
Evil.
us that this is a big problem, Stella sort of like has that like it doesn't seem like you're because Spence. So Lee is a little anxious, and I get that. I feel that, and I feel like sometimes he blows things out of proportion. So we're just gonna. I can check. I think I can check. Like this doesn't feel like a big deal. We could all just go back to vibing. So I think so. Stella sort of like puts a hand on Lee's not fucked up shoulder.
Mhm.
And,
like-
and now, for context, Lee, what she just said is technically possible,
Sure.
right? Like,
It could be fine.
It's absolutely possible. It's not bloody likely,
Yeah.
but I mean, anything's possible.
it could be purple, it could be blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's I actually fuck it. Stella pats Lee and just says, "It's probably okay," and just
Drink.
Out of beverage.
I'm sorry. And then do we still have do you still have silverware?
Joey, Nitrita in the chat has got your number, man.
I know. I'm seeing it.
I do like Lee has never vibed in his life.
How dare you with these accusations?
That is
You
not
just
a
gotta
default
go with
setting.
the flow sometimes. Like,
No,
All
no,
right.
no. You have met the immovable object.
All right, so does anyone have a reaction before Stella sort of like goes into her thing?
I'm just flicking my just watching them go back and forth on it.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, sure.
Lee's pretty confident in what he said, so he very, very much has a look on his face like, fuck around and find out. Like, go ahead.
Okay.
Prove me right.
I mean, so long as you don't fuck with the book anymore, like I think that
oh, I'm not touching.
Yeah, you're
that
not
shit.
anywhere near the book. That's fine.
yeah, that's at this point all I care about. I'm still
I'm
trying
not-
to figure out like if any part of me is still burning because it smells kind of like I'm still burning.
Yeah. Like your nose hairs are burnt, and it's like, is something burning? Is it in my nose now? Like,
Is my
your
nose
nostril hairs.
yeah.
Are my sinuses on fire?
Trey, one thing you notice is that Razor has escaped Rosalinda's hair and is delighting in this like former silverware lattice work that is your new ribs. And it's just like swing, swing, scurry. Like you're now her jungle gym.
Little tip tap on
Yeah.
metal on metal.
Yeah. So
I mean, play all you want, but the next time Rosalinda tries to trim your claws, I don't want no guff.
okay. And Trey, without rolling anything, you have an instinct that the book is not like a sapient or even sentient being, but it does not like Stella. Like it, in the way that plants will like turn away from certain environmental stimuli. The book would turn away from Stella if it could.
Absolutely rude, but valid.
So, Stella, let's roll Oracle.
This
2d6
is
plus
gonna-
your judgment.
I got great judgment. Real piece of shit. But
As
great
it
judgment.
has been illustrated. This is either good or bad.
It's an 8 with my judgment added to it. That's
Oh,
an 8.
that's not very good.
I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Cute.
Okay. So Stella, you have okay, so it says the portents are muddy, but the general idea is clear.
That's what I wanted too. That wasn't like a
Yeah. But you sort of cast your mind forward, thinking about the possibilities, what.
Can I add one flavor?
Sure.
Stella goes to her purse and dumps it on the floor.
Oh, and is like reading the contents?
Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And that's how that works. It's just full, like there's like Nutri-Grain bar bits in there and like a mascara that's definitely
Sure.
dried out that rolls away. Just
That's hilarious.
That's
I am so
awesome.
here
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
full
love it.
I
augury.
love this so much.
Okay, so the things fall out of the purse, and because this is guided by your intention, a number of things wind up sort of like suspended halfway to the floor. Some things hit the floor, some like bounce and then stop, and like it's just a whole like three-dimensional cascade situation. And but also you notice this like this same lipstick like stopped, and this lipstick hit the floor, this lipstick hit the floor and cracked, and it's the same one, right? And have we all seen The Matrix, like the original film? You know when they try to shoot the agent and he like fuzzes out in a bunch of different directions at the same time? So it's not quite that extreme, but Stella is, you all are watching Stella in like a dozen sort of standing positions.
Oh, so it's kind of like that, like a Doctor Strange situation.
It's a little like that, less extreme, but the outcome, Stella. So you're the takeaway here is that because of what has happened, the near future is so like shockingly unstable that you're not able to get a good read on it. And that's the read. Like you know that you were good at what you were doing, right? And
Yes.
and what you get is that it is just shockingly unstable.
Yeah. That's about what I was expecting too. This like it dumps out, and it's like it's that line from The Matrix where it's like, you guys see numbers, I see, you know,
Yeah.
a blonde, a redhead. Like that's what she's looking at in
Yeah.
this moment.
Although you do now have 3 of that same lipstick. I mean, one of them's cracked, if you don't mind, but like,
You know, it's expensive, so like I don't mind stealing from other reality Stellas. That's fine.
okay, she's gonna be so pissed.
She's good. She knows too.
God damn it, all my lipsticks are gone. Okay, so now coming out of that, however, again, this is not a regular Oracle situation because you are dealing with like a fractured reality, and you come out of this dizzy, nauseous. You could tell me how far that goes, but like it's like you were on 3 different tilt-a-whirls at the same time, and you're not going to stay standing up. That's the one thing I'm saying. You could tell me what else happens.
Stella fully pukes.
Okay.
It's like she does the like the drunk girl stumble. It gets to, I assume the kitchen and the living room are fairly close. Like it's like
Very
the counter
close.
the counter
Mhm.
separates them.
100%.
She like gets to the sink, which like actually she gets to the sink.
I
Gets to the sink, so
appreciate
there's-
randomization on that. Yeah, that's
But does the like but fully just gets sick in the sink and does a I'm okay, just needed to come out. The poison is out, and
Yeah.
then sits down on the kitchen floor.
yeah. Sit down.
can
Yeah, okay,
rally,
that's fine.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit is good. It's still spinning
Yeah.
in multiple dimension. So
Lee looks
Absolutely.
over, taking a victory sip. So, good news?
Well, you're never getting that glitter out of your carpet, so I don't know how good that's gonna be for you.
that was glitter in your purse.
Oh, there's definitely glitter in my
Okay,
purse.
yeah,
It's a
that makes
Trixie
sense.
Mattel.
I don't know why I asked that. I retract the question, Your Honor.
It's a Trixie Mattel glitter. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Mhm.
But fully like, sorry, Fox photo disrupt the puke and rally, which, but yeah, it's it's not great.
Mhm.
It's not great. It's just very unstable in a way I hate to admit, but Lee is somewhat correct in this matter.
Oh, the pain. Do we have to roll take grievous harm?
gonna say if I take any more harm.
No. No, it's fine.
It's just, I think that I am more put together than what happens next. Like
So-
Stella sitting on the ground in the kitchen.
Yeah, that should be a substantial statement for everyone in this room of
Mhm.
like Stella saying the future is more of a mess than she is. So,
But doesn't mean bad. Technically.
it's aggressively unknown.
It's just very unknown.
And for the record, and for all of you, you're all familiar with magical effects, and you've maybe spoken to a seer, or you know, had your cards read, or whatever, right? And everyone's aware. There's always like the future is always spoken of in possibilities, but they're, you know, a range of certain possibilities, not what Stella's describing, right? Like that is dire what she's saying.
And she whenever she does do this, which is very rare, the whole actual oracle situation, she does do the like she does sort of transform into this look that is the real oracle that we have all met and love. She gets glittery, she does look like she's been in the club, but just lots of mascara running. She's transformed fully into the crying girl in the bathroom, and she'll recover when the effect wears off, but like,
Yeah.
that is her actual like oracle look. It's fine.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
That was the pitch for this entire character to
That's-
Jason.
That's so real. We all know the crying girl in the bathroom.
Yep.
She is wise. She
She
a mess.
cries for she's seen too much.
She carries the burden of her friends.
Uh-huh.
And her friends are anyone who came into the bathroom.
Just wanted to have a good time. Lee is going to put on a kettle. So, the way I see it, we have two options. We can either force the ley line back where it's supposed to be, or we can find some way of stabilizing the whereabouts of the current ley line so it doesn't throw the entire world out of whack. I, for one, am actually partial to the second, because the idea of being able to move ley lines and stabilize them is really fascinating and can lead to a lot of more understanding of how magic works and focusing magic where you want it instead of where it exists.
What if Rosalinda
totally
just fucked
not.
over a taco truck again?
Yeah, and totally not just destabilizing the entire future.
Well, that's why we have to learn how to stabilize it.
I want to
If
be
it's
clear,
possible.
too, that we don't actually have an idea of what caused it to move.
Right.
Okay.
It moved when Rosalinda was trying to get free elote, but
I don't want a latte anymore. Screw this.
Just
None of
every
us
time
ever
you
want
see
to hear the
corn.
word, like hear the name elote ever
yeah,
again.
but we don't actually have. We have not observed anything that correlates those things.
Mhm.
So
You just assumed because it's the most likely
We're just
thing to happen.
blaming on Rosalinda anyway.
I mean, also how media came and like tried to banhammer you.
yeah, I
and
mean,
then
so for the three of you from the media pantheon, that the seeker was sent by media herself. Like that alone could have been like, gods are not supposed to interact with the mortal plane directly. So it wasn't even a celebrant that sent the seeker. It was media. So
Because if anyone's going to grossly overreact in the moment,
thank you.
Hey,
I'm mad that that's correct.
hey.
Okay.
whatever.
I have I'm not going to recover anytime soon, but where is that fucking book from, as long as we're looking at our assets?
Uh, A library?
Oh, good. I was hoping you'd be vague.
Honestly, look, Sensei gave it to me, said it would help, said we have to read it together. Maybe if we could stop piercing it with sharp objects.
I was trying to help.
Trey, for a moment, you take a breath to continue this tirade, right? And you just get pinched in like 5 different. Nothing is like hurt, like attacking you, but like you've been very badly injured, and so you can keep going if you want, but I'm just gonna add that little tactile experience.
Just, like I'm gonna like grab my ribs and just be like grumpy face, and then be like, look, I feel like first things first, let's figure out what the information in the book is carefully. Maybe on the patio, just in case.
Outside.
Let's
On
go
the
to the
roof.
roof, maybe?
I'm gonna need like 10 minutes and I'm good to go. And a coffee.
He grabs a bottle of water and puts it right by the sink for you.
Yes.
Razor,
Amazing.
stay by Stella. Tell Razor to
Make that a Gatorade. If it's a
It's
Gatorade.
Gatorade. But yeah, otherwise the club dress is going back to being a regular hoodie and her regular outfit.
Okay. Fading into yep. Okay. Rosalinda, you sent Razor over to sit with Stella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Is
I
he
think
holding her hair back?
She like rolls the Gatorade over to
The vibe of also this like party girl look with a rat next to her is also amazing.
Yep.
Very LA.
Yep.
It's real New York, real LA.
Trey, can you tell, has the book healed itself, or are we still going to be dealing with the Ark of the Covenant if we open it up?
Let's find out.
You watched that
Like
movie?
I'm gonna put the
I thought it was hilarious.
I'm still floored that you actually watch movies. I mean, it's an old movie too.
It's so old.
Practically ancient. I'm surprised it's not in black and white. It's so old.
Yeah.
Did they have talkies back then?
Standard definition. You could barely see a thing on it.
Trey, what are you wanting to do?
I want to put my hand like on the cover of the book
Mhm.
to try to get a sense of whether or not it is going to attempt to murder me again if I open it up.
It kind of sounds like you want to pierce the veil, maybe?
It does. What
Okay.
I would like to do is pierce the veil with War Never Changes, since I would
Oh.
argue that a fight just took place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Just saying.
Now, it does restrict your questions a little bit.
Mm. Mm, mm. It does?
Oh, no. It's just the situation. Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Nice. My dice are being much nicer to me today. I think it's because they feel guilty for trying to kill me last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that was rude.
I got a 12.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you get 3 questions from Pierce the Veil.
Okay, so first question is
Jason, I asked a question in our Zoom chat.
Oh, thank you for telling me.
okay, how can I get this thing to give us its information without attempting to kill me? Or anyone else in my weave?
Thank you.
Wait. Sorry, what's the question again?
Oh, I want to see how we can get the information from the book without it trying to,
Yeah. I'm going to kind of label that under the like what's the greatest danger
Okay.
with this thing, right? I think that's kind of what you're right?
Well, it was kind of like going for the last one, like how can I get this person, place, or
yes,
thing to...
yes. I'm sorry. Yes, that is better. It doesn't really matter that much, but
Spill your secrets, book.
okay. So the thing that you realize as the I had mentioned all those kind of interlocking circles, like the wildest Venn diagram ever, on the cover. When you put your hand on it, some of them start to move around, and like you get one under each of the pads of your fingers, and the rest of them start moving around a little bit. And then what you realize is kind of like what Stella just experienced is when we tried to open the book a minute ago, we hadn't fully isolated its reality, and it's an incredibly powerful magical artifact, and its multiple realities of it are pushed too close together. And so opening it was just like overwhelming, right? And so we'll need some sort of ritual to isolate the reality and be able to have a moment of peace to do that safely.
Okay. And cool. So glad this came with like a warning or instructions.
This is a pretty unusual situation.
Here, take this book and these scrolls, bring them back before dawn, is not, oh, also, by the way, it could kill you. I'm starting to think that, like, the greatest danger for within my own pantheon is Sensei.
I don't know who said that out loud, but accurate.
Okay, so I kind of know what happened to it recently. Is there a way for me to just ask, like, what the ritual would be? Or, like, what we need for the ritual?
Yeah. The main thrust of what needs to happen is you need, like, a protection spell. Your spindle is probably equipped to set up something, because it's already doing the work of keeping your 4 fates from like just collapsing in on each other. So it probably has a sort of like a hardened state in reality, and it'll be less dangerous there. But of course, if it is dangerous and you blow up your spindle, we don't know what will happen. But it seems like, to the best of your knowledge, creating a, like it's on par with a chalk circle when you're summoning a demon, right? Like we're just trying to like protect from outside influence. And in this case, you're trying to protect from neighboring realities bleeding over into each other. And so having like a grounded place to start from is probably a key element. But also just knowing that you need to kind of build a shell around, a magical shell of some kind.
Cool. Can I find out, like, who exactly made this book?
Oh.
This incredibly powerful artifact that was just handed over to me like it was no big deal to stick in my motorcycle saddle?
So, the book is this. It's like the source of not any historical, whatever might be a factual historical figure, but the fictional figure of Merlin, and whatever he would have written is theoretically what this should be related to.
That explains a lot. Okay, cool, great. Here's what we need to do. Let's go back to the cemetery and we'll set up like some additional wards over there. And we'll make sure that what happened with Stella doesn't happen to the entirety of reality. and then we can figure out what the hell this book says. As we all curse Merlin's name for eternity.
Oh, so this is a Merlin thing.
It
Like-
explains why it's so like innocuous seeming at first, and then attempts to murder you.
He wasn't one of the good guys.
No.
I don't.
I mean,
I liked him in
did
that
you ever-
series.
did you ever read Crystal Cave? Because like I read Crystal Cave.
I mean, there was that BBC series. That was fun.
It was, except like whoever was writing it apparently believed all women were evil, but you know, like you do.
Yeah,
I mean, he was cute.
a teen drama does not historical accuracy make.
Are you sure? I love
I
Rain.
mean-
I don't know. Like, I feel like in future years, All American is going to become a classic. I'm sorry.
Let's hope. Let's
Sorry.
hope.
You said that with your demigod mouth.
I did say that with my demigod mouth. I love my show. I wanted to keep going for 7 seasons of a movie.
Question, Jason. Now that I know that Merlin made this book,
Mm-hmm.
can I attempt to do some esoteric, etc., to try to get more information on what this book might be? Maybe help us wield it a bit better?
Yeah. Yeah. Pooja, you got all 3 questions, right?
Mhm.
Like, how can I open this? What's the ritual going to entail? Who made this thing? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. I got an 8 on the dice, +1 for judgment is 9, plus another +1 for esoteric, etc. makes it a 10.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And
is
that's an
that-
advance.
Is that a pierce the veil?
That is a pierce the veil, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know how you want to...
You got... Oh, did you have doubles?
I did get double, so I got
Oh.
a thread, which gives me an advance.
Oh, good job.
Think.
Okay. Yeah, so what do you want to ask from Pierce the Veil?
Let's go with...
And again, in this sense, you are able to use the Pierce the Veil in less of a localized fashion because you are piercing the veil of your mind and all the weird shit that you've learned.
Right.
Or maybe an alternate version of you has learned. It's, yeah.
Let's see. Well, let's go with what is the greatest danger with this thing?
The greatest danger is that, much like many stories of Merlin, this resource is capable of reversing things. Not time travel, but reversing things. Does that make sense?
Kind of,
Okay.
I think.
Like, the mental images you get are of a soda can uncrumpling.
Right. Okay. All right. My God. Well, that kind of answered my second question. But I guess I'll ask it anyway, and maybe it'll confirm it. How can I get this thing to help us put the ley line back? Like, what? Basically, why was this given to us for this purpose?
Yeah, I mean, once you're able to open this safely, if it abides by what you know of common things about Merlin and the kind of magic that he did, it should be able to perform a Control Z on what happened without going backwards in time, which is forbidden.
Right.
It can youngify a situation without sending it backwards in time, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Last question. How can I get this thing to trust me?
I'm gonna message you the answer in Slack
I don't like knowing that.
because I don't want to, like we've said before, we don't do a lot of table secrets in my games, but narratively it's more fun if Lee has to interpret this. I almost sent it to the wrong person. Um, so much for table secret.
I'm waiting for like kill Stella. I'm like, bring it on. I might as well
I'm pretty
die.
sure he would have to murder me.
Now, did he ask these questions aloud? And did we hear it? Because
No, this is
Just
Lee
in case.
going through his
Okay.
Rolodex of like, what do I know? What do I
Right.
know? What do I
But
know?
You could see the gears turning, maybe even rapid eye movement, of like he's in his mind palace.
Mhm.
Lee, what does it look like when you're in your mind palace?
Yeah, it's very. It's very Sherlocky. It's very, Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock moment.
Cucumber Bunderbatch?
Yep.
I
Okay.
love just mentally pulling open drawers. Like, what the fuck? Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Benevolent cucumber. Just going through and looking at all the different possibilities and thinking things through. So you see his eyes darting to things and like not really looking at anything in the room, but he is seeing things almost like literally like rifling through a Rolodex or through a card catalog.
Yeah. All right. So, Joey, I messaged you on Slack.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
I take a picture of Lee in this state.
Okay.
In my phone.
Even like a boomerang would be great because
You take a
there's a
boomerang.
movement aspect to it that's valuable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They
I mean,
send it to
everything,
the-
every picture is a boomerang now, right? mean,
Pretty
that's how
much,
that
yeah. You
works.
just hold the button down and you get,
Mm-hmm. And then you
6
can pick
seconds.
a very perfect frame.
yeah.
Send it to the group chat. That's not
Yeah,
Lee's
without
not
Lee.
in it.
Got it. Like, boop, boop, boop.
The weave minus Lee.
The other game where Joey's character isn't in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot which game it was at this point. This one we make gifts of Lee and send them to each other because we want to. That one,
That's our reaction gifts.
yeah, that one Max sends us.
All right. So, Lee, you come out of this trance.
Mhm.
Rosalinda hurriedly puts her phone away. I don't know. Were you trying to hide it, Rosalinda?
No.
You're just like, okay, I'm done.
You're done. Okay.
Yeah. Takes her phone out of your face.
It's like, wait, just one more second. Just do the eye thing one more time.
Your lip was starting to go up. Can you do it again?
Snap.
Are we
Let's see.
done? Can we go?
Razor is still, I think, jungle gymming on Trey.
Well,
Oh.
Razor had gone over to Stella to administer Gatorade or whatever, like bougie Gatorade that
Okay.
he
Adrenaline
actually has in
Gatorade.
his
All
Yeah, I
right,
feel
well,
like Lee's Gatorade is nice Gatorade.
when Lee flips off everyone, including Rosalinda, Razor gets up and like flips Lee off with her like 3 fingers, Yeah.
You're
So?
on thin ice, my mechanical friend.
Don't threaten the mouse.
I didn't threaten the mouse. I was just making a statement.
Those
can
are
we
not
go?
mutually exclusive.
Can we just let's get this over with? I'd like to, set the world right before it falls apart.
Yeah, and I have to get this book back by dawn.
Sure.
Can I coax the light back in the scroll case?
The light was just from the rolled up map, right? So that's right, because it had unrolled and it was basically a glowy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to roll Bend Fate,
God damn it.
because this isn't technically your gift. You're like, this is borrowed.
Why do they keep giving me things I can't use?
Well, you
It's
can
mean.
use it. Nobody else would even get to roll Bend Fate.
Did you let us know that this thing has a till dawn timer? 'Cause
Oh,
I have an
wait. Wrong. You have Pantheon royalty.
Mhm.
You don't need to roll.
Okay.
You just
Thank
you
you.
pick up the scroll case and you're like, fuck, how do I and you sort of get the sense of like, it looks like you're trying to roll up the light map. Can I help? It's like the map is communicating with you.
Because that's not. Yeah. I just need to. I want to take the.
Clippy is definitely part of media, not the science pantheon.
Yes.
Only media would birth something so abominable.
Yes. Science Pantheon didn't want to make that. That's not what computer scientists built.
I pack bonded with Clippy. How dare you?
Yeah, sure. Like,
Select yes or no, Trey. It's right there. Just select yes or no.
yes.
Yeah, I feel like all the media demigods can see that it's talking to Trey and whatever face you're making.
Okay, yes. Yes.
All right, so it like coils up and flows back into the scroll case.
I think at
This
this
could-
point, go ahead. Sorry.
This could actually be useful sometimes when it's not teleporting me into other dimensions against my will. Cool.
Great. Are we good? Can we go? And Lee gestures. And because I just took the move portal, as he
Oh.
gestures, a portal appears. He wasn't planning on it. It's just there now. To the cemetery, to the
Yeah.
mausoleum.
Okay, now this is. I do want to clarify a little bit. It says open a noisy gateway to a familiar, stationary, and safe place.
Yeah.
Now, to the spindle, that's fine. That's a perfectly valid target, but it is noisy and it takes about a minute to open.
Okay.
But what I love the idea is like Lee going like, "Can we go now?" And then you like freeze. And to your mind, you're like instantly opening the portal. All of you are watching this like swirling. Like, what does your portal look like?
That's a great question. I hadn't thought about
Spiraling
that yet.
purple cloud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all here for spiraling. I think there is like an astral fire involved. Like, it doesn't actually burn anything, but it definitely looks like it's burning. Because that feels Greek to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Greek
Yeah.
fire.
Very
the
that.
hells of Tartarus. Love them.
Very. But yeah, so it starts with like a spark, and then it revolves like a wheel of fire, and then almost like it's burning a hole through reality.
Oh yeah. That's
But on the
safe
other side of
and
it
fine.
is the mausoleum.
Yeah. So the
You
rest
gotta
of you see Lee go into like freeze, and then you realize he's actually just moving at like 1/1000th speed because he like starts to blink and is making another great blep face.
I think all three of us have our cameras out at this point. It's like you gotta get all the angles.
So you know that he's not like under attack or suffering or something. It's just like whatever he's doing is like just cause something to happen. And about a minute later, as you're all watching this thing like open, you're like, okay, I know what a portal is. Like this is he's just never done one before, and he's a weirdo. So
I was gonna say I've always wanted to know what the Sailor Moon transformation looks like when you're not the person transforming.
Sure.
I feel like at this
That's-
point we're
there you
about to
go.
find out what the Sailor Moon transformation smells like.
You know what would be cool is like a you know what I mean if I said like a Full Metal Sailor Moon kind of experience.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I
Yeah.
wish someone would
like
do that.
you know what? Somebody should write that book.
Right?
Yeah.
Shush, guys.
If only you could buy a graphic novel of this experience right now.
Hey, Dorkwood Canada, could you grab a link for us, please?
Like when we shit on our friends by promoting their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
think
that
that's
Fox
fair.
cartoon about how we're gonna torture you by fake compliments.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All compliments.
Yeah, it's a whole graphic novel Minerva did. It is like awesome. You should go check it out.
300 pages. 5 years of my life. Gone. There you go. Okay.
And you could get the Art Deco Sailor Moon prints to go with them. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that shit's cool too.
They look
I don't
real
even
good on
know
my
Sailor
wall.
Moon. Like I didn't know Sailor Moon before looking at that book, and it was like still fun and interesting. So,
I used to do my hair like Usagi. Hey, I could do it again. My hair's real long again.
Gestures to her hair currently. Anyway, we're playing a game.
all right. So, yeah, Lee, you come out of this and like everyone's in a slightly like everyone flickered as far as you're concerned, right? Like Razor is now on Rosalinda's shoulder. It's like when the security recording loops and like everything kind of just jumped a little bit. You're not totally sure what happened, but the portal is open and you know you're responsible for it. And you have a pretty good idea of how to repeat the process. But you also know it's not going to stay open forever.
That's new. Great. It's more efficient. Less time to travel. Let's go. We're burning daylight.
Okay.
Did you just put another hole in your apartment?
I
don't think
don't
it's real.
think so. Well,
Yeah, I was picturing just a freestanding in the
Yeah.
middle of the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still another hole in his apartment.
Technically,
Alright.
yes. All right, so everyone into Lee's hole?
For the second time today.
Yeah.
mhm. My flaming hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Aye, aye, Captain.
They make creams for that.
Indeed.
Oh, will you just?
All right. So I think we head through the portal. We come out in the cemetery somewhere, or probably the mausoleum, because that's the safest, right? Like no one's gonna see you come out of the portal, supernatural or otherwise, right? Because the mausoleum, you all sort of like claimed that as your main base. And yeah, we step out into the mausoleum. You can see some of the afternoon light coming through the gaps, and the part covered with a tarp that is still being repaired, because just regular human crews are working on it. But I think that's the perfect place to take our break. So thanks everyone for being with us. We will be back in just a few moments, and we'll see you then. Bye. Hello there. Welcome back. I forgot that I got rid of the longer transition, like boom thing, and I hit the button and we're right here. Hello. Oh, shush, phone. You don't know me. You don't know my life.
You don't know
It begs
me.
to differ.
I take chat with me to the kitchen on break. So, we're doing some sketchy shit, and now we're in the park. All right, so you've all arrived in the mausoleum, and I would say, who has a judgment of 2 or higher?
No.
If
Sorry.
I'm using esoteric, etc., I have a judgment of 2 or higher.
I'll
I
allow it.
auto have a judgment to do her.
I know.
I'm sure you meant prowess, right?
No. Okay, so Stella and Lee, you both have the experience of it's like your ears popping from the loss of pressure, right? Like as you emerge in the mausoleum, there's just this like this weight off your shoulder. You can take a deep breath. It's like you can hear clearly, and just crossing into the realm of your spindle had already had a palpable effect on you.
I'm just gonna DM something to Jason. It
Mhm.
is not necessary for anything, but it
Oh,
may
and
be
yes
helpful.
to your earlier DM'd question, Stella. Sorry. I
Okay,
missed
and
that.
also, what the heck is a forward?
You're talking like
Oh.
a +1 forward?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So +1 forward is keeps going. Although forward
I
is
thought that was
just
a
the
ongoing.
next roll you make. +1 ongoing is like forever until that condition is resolved. So
This is. Oh, sorry, finish.
so a +1 forward will be for everyone who heard your oracular knowledge.
Apparently, my filter just killed itself. Sorry,
um,
my secrets.
anyone who's sort of going along with what you predicted to either like support or whatever it was you were trying to accomplish, they will get a +1 to their next roll trying to go with your recommendation, which I think was
Maybe we fix.
repair the ley line, right? Like not try to
Yeah.
stabilize it where it is, right? You wanted to put it back.
I think put
Okay.
it back. Put that thing back where it came from.
Okay, so
The ley line pick.
I just threw that there for you in Zoom for reasons you may need later.
oh, that's great. Thank you. Okay. So what do you do?
So, Lee, what do we do?
Okay, well,
Well, and he says this, takes a breath, takes a moment. I think perhaps we should let Trey take the lead on this, since she is clearly the one who knows the most about the book as the, I think you said the term was editrix for your pantheon, and should all show her the due respect she deserves.
Lee, do you mean it?
Most of it.
Pooja, the player, would you be open to having him roll awe to determine how authentic that feels to Trey, or do you want to just decide?
no, go ahead. This is hilarious.
Okay. Or we could have Trey roll judgment. But I think the onus is on Lee to impress Trey right now.
And not even impressed, but like get over the fact that Trey's first response to this is, did you hit your head when you went through the portal?
Right.
You feeling okay, bro?
Now, question. Since saying these things is in a way trying to do what
Esoteric, etc.
yeah,
told you
no,
about.
no. I'm trying to do what Stella predicted, which is try to fix the ley line, and this is a step in doing so.
Oh,
When I get the +1 forward on this roll.
Yes, I
Okay.
am open to that. I thought you were going to ask if you could use judgment again to do. I was like, no, knowing the thing and doing the thing are often very different requirements.
I quite appreciate that the thing you're rolling for is convincing Trey that you're not. That this is
Being a
thing you
sarcastic
actually wanna
asshole.
say.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 9 on the dice, and but that +1 is a 10.
Well, there
Okay.
you go.
So and so we need to say, like, this is not Lee rolling a trickery thing. Lee is trying to communicate his painful but earnest acknowledgement of Trey's royalty.
Mm-hmm. And give deference where deference is due in this circumstance where we are dealing with the gifts of your royalty.
Just
Try.
while you're ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
But thanks. Okay. Basically, the book needs to be isolated in our reality. So it needs to be isolated from all the other realities, right? That it's currently connected to,
Mm-hmm.
which is most of them from what I can tell.
Oh, we just need to isolate it? That's easy.
Trey,
I can-
are you holding the book, like, in your
Mhm.
hand? Okay. So, on top of being aware that it doesn't care for Stella very much, upon Lee's, what do we call that?
Diatribe?
Pledging
Acknowledgement
fealty?
of my
Yeah.
acknowledgement of my status.
Yeah, the book actually is like, oh hey, like, if you want to delegate, like, I'm happy, like, he respects you, so he's a legitimate person. It's like the book acknowledges Lee as a person, which is kind of astounding, really, that you know this.
I'm astounded that I know this and also grossed out that the book is like this.
Beauty.
It's like you. Oh, I can't even scold you properly because you're not alive. In that way.
Well, not with that attitude.
Well, and to be clear, it doesn't like Lee because of anything he can do. He likes Lee because of what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this
It's
was
cool.
this
A
was
book
the
snob.
table secret that we had to keep behind scenes.
Okay, yeah, let's set up a perimeter. I'm gonna put this in terms that I understand.
Mm-hmm.
We need to set up a perimeter. The cemetery can help us do it. So if we isolate it, then we can use the book to do what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Without it murdering me like last time.
Mm-hmm.
So Lee, if you could help me do the thing, I would appreciate it.
I'm slowly putting a couple things together. Very slowly.
Is this an in character spoken?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Do we need a fence? Can I make a fence?
Technically, yes, you can. Lee,
Yeah.
I'm forcing you to roll esoteric, etc. right now, but a 6- will still be a problem. I'm sorry. This is a hard move.
Oh, well, neither one of those stayed on the book. There we go. Oh, damn it. There we go. Okay, that was the same thing rolled anyway. 8, 9, 10.
Oh, okay. So, well, first I need to know, just mentally, because you didn't blurt anything out, what was Lee's initial thought when Rosalinda was like, fence? Like, what was the gut reaction to that?
There was a bit of an internal eye roll because
Okay.
it's very like a physical fence isn't going to do anything magical.
Sure.
But then his brain started working and realizing when you tie things magically to a physical barrier, it's going to help reinforce it.
Particularly if the fence is copper,
Yeah.
which is something that Rosalinda has frequently manipulated. That if you could create a sort of Faraday type thing, that would actually enhance what you're trying to do. Not just like be like keep Rosalinda busy for a little bit while you do magic. Like it would be like demonstrably helpful.
I love it.
So, her question stands.
Yes. Rosalinda, I think a fence is a great idea. Copper would be best. Copper has a characteristic that makes it very susceptible to magic. And anything that we can bind to reality that we can tangibly touch is going to help bind the book to our reality.
I can make it the best copper ever. It's the shiniest. I can make it extremely shiny, or I can have a burnished patent on it if you want. Or it can be really like a Faraday cage, or it can be really thick and strong. What would you like? It's such a flexible metal. I can totally work with you.
Lee is going to put both his hands on Rosalinda's shoulders. Follow your heart.
Okay. It's gonna be so pretty. I've been wanting to make a really big fence.
Lee's going to look at her like, I'm very happy, but also trying to figure out why you're so obsessed with fences.
It's a metal fence. It's made out of copper, pure copper. That's really hard to do. I'm the girl to do it.
I believe in
this
you
lighting?
completely.
I have to ask Minerva the player.
Uh-huh.
Is Rosalinda just like 100% genuinely excited to help?
Yes, especially
Okay.
with Lee.
Just this like pure. Okay.
Like, I can do this. let me do this.
No, I
Please let me
forget
do this.
relationship. Does Rosalinda, is she crushing on Lee at all? I don't remember the dynamic
I think
there.
she respects him.
Oh, she's the
think.
one.
All right, listen.
I'm giving myself a thread.
Okay. Yep.
I am proud of myself. In fact, you don't have to ask.
I
I'm
know.
also describing my element in wonder, and that's a thread.
That's true. Yeah, mark that for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lee, I think her like honest earnestness maybe is even like so unusual for Lee. Like that's well, maybe
yeah.
Stella too. Like so being in the presence of this kind of earnestness can generate secondhand embarrassment sometimes.
It's genuinely like the biggest barrier between Stella and Rosalinda, I think.
Yeah.
Is that like, yeah, you really care, don't you?
But I can help.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be the strongest fence. It'll be the strongest barrier. I swear. Be
Yeah.
purest copper.
So
I look forward to seeing it. I think Lee is actually kind of taking it in because a lot of times, especially from Stella and Trey, it's usually a lot of bullshit thrown his way when he's
Yeah.
just trying to help.
Just trying to help.
Well, if you just did what I said, things would go so much easier.
Oh Lord.
Don't matters. Don't matters.
Girls,
But-
you're both pretty.
Seeing like, you know, Rosalinda like earnestly wanting to help and that just without any pretense and without any like shade added is like such a sigh of relief. Where like this is what it's supposed to be like.
I wrap my arm around his shoulder and starts marking a perimeter around the mausoleum. Like, okay, so that we can
well,
have
hold
it
on.
around there.
So we'll actually have to have it. You need to perform whatever this ritual is. You need to like open up the book and figure out exactly. But you know for sure you're going to have to do it on where the ley line is now. You're basically casting a spell on the ley line itself, which is also not possible. But you know, here we are. It also moved. But yeah, and so also that ley line is going down the middle of a street right now, just the wrong street.
Right.
It was
I would
supposed to take Fountain.
I would like to
Faster.
cast a spell in an attempt to basically like Trey said, to isolate it in our reality, like to focus it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to use spell casting. The effects I want, one is restrict movement so that it is isolated to our reality.
Okay.
Cost. Let's do. Why not? We haven't had one of these in a while. Draws unwanted attention.
Fantastic.
Second effect, if I get that far. Let's go with reveal a secret.
Okay.
And second cost, if I have to, two costs would be do I want to no.
For this spell, if we get to a second cost, I'm gonna enforce take 2 harm.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I will take that.
But only if you have to take 2 costs.
Right. Which is definitely not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's gonna be fine.
How would that even happen? That's
I don't
basically impossible.
Basically impossible.
Okay, so you need to be at the ley line to do that.
Okay.
And I think you're going to want your protective cage beforehand, right?
Okay. So I was trying to cast it on the book to help isolate it.
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying cast it on the right. Okay.
No, so that when we use the book, it's in one dimension, so we don't get,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So we
that
have
was
anchored it in its own, in our reality versus.
Mhm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this was not what I was thinking you needed the cage for, right? Like,
Right.
The cage is for actually like addressing the ley line.
Right. This is prep work.
Yeah. Okay. So Rosalinda, you might be out at the street, like gathering. Cause you don't have produce element, right?
No, I do
All
not.
right, so you're like calling the copper, come to me. To me. It's the like street lamps shatter open
Right.
and the copper sprays out and
No, wraps
Just
all around.
imagine-
It's gonna wrap all around me like a scary
sure.
Akira Tetsuo thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I imagine Rosalinda going into like abandoned buildings and like taking all the copper wiring out of the walls.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
thinking
just
like
there
because
aren't any.
the abandoned buildings get stripped so quickly of the copper that
Yeah.
it's like a construction site is suddenly 2 weeks behind.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at let's actually do that real quick because Rosalinda's going to be out there doing that by herself, I assume. Stella, are you going with her?
I think as soon as like Stella post Oracle moment post has been turning something else over in her brain for
Okay.
the last. So I might do a thing when we get to our spindle.
Okay, 1 second then. So Rosalinda, you have Cataclysm, Fire Talk with me, rub some dirt on it. Did you take any more moves?
Russian.
Oh, Russian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then and did you take any more gifts or just the original ones?
Just the original. Just elemental familiar, epic weapon, and take a move from the warrior playbook.
Yeah.
Which is the rec room.
Okay. Cool. All right. So then I'm actually going to have you use your fire talk with me to call the element to you.
Yes.
Normally we do it as a pierce the veil type of thing, but I'm going to wing it a little bit here. So roll judgment with fate's favor.
Okay. Thank God. Yep.
To find it, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. The A fate's favor. One more. Oh, thank God. Okay, that is a 10 on the dice. So -1 judgment. That's a 9.
Okay.
Oy.
Okay.
Load it through.
Yeah. Internet for blocks around goes out.
Yes.
As unfortunately you're not able to find a construction site. That's what a full 10 plus would have gotten you, was a relatively low impact situation like that. But you eventually have like a spool of copper cable rolling down the road, coming to you as this like just mass of copper snakes are making their way to you as you're just out here like, no, that's not Rosalinda, but you are summoning the copper, and most people are ignoring it because they don't want to see that happening.
They think it's an Indiana Jones theme going down the street for some reason. It's the ball.
Yeah, maybe
someone...
it's just they don't want to see supernatural shit. Like if that thing were just rolling by itself, I think people notice it until they see you calling it, and then they just keep looking like elsewhere. Like off we go.
Is that collateral damage too?
No, not yet. Not
Damn,
yet.
okay. All right.
It is technically, but you meant to do this. It was fine if you did collateral damage. Collateral damage, we're gonna mark that when like you kind of trash something you didn't want to, or
Okay.
had to. Okay, so back in the mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting to set up a. You're gonna do your cast a spell.
Yeah, on the book.
Yeah. Okay. Trey, Stella, anything we want to do just in that moment of time, or in addition, or separate from?
I have nothing I want to do that's going to help this situation. I posted in the Zoom chat again the thing I've been turning over and trying to figure out. And I may pierce the veil using I may have a little bit of a conference with some of the people in Hollywood forever. I need to check with some people about some stuff.
Yeah. Did you take the dead people?
I see dead people.
Yeah. Okay.
Which seemed good and correct for this.
Yeah, I like it.
All my friends are dead.
Let me just double check that before we do your spell, Lee, because I want to. Oh, what book is that from?
The Reaper.
Oh, that makes sense.
I've been like slowly aping things from the Reaper.
Yeah.
Which is like weirdly my favorite playbook. I keep gravitating back to it when I look at Demigod games.
Yeah, I
don't know why.
Because it's amazing.
It's one of my favorites too. For me, it's the Muse, the Reaper, and the Trickster.
I keep wanting to play the Trickster, and I keep like going back to the Reaper, and I genuinely, as a Clara, I'm like, it's just a vibe I enjoy.
I at this game anyway, I feel like I'm gonna end up being half warrior, half artisan.
Yeah.
But like I love the Trickster playbook so much.
I do too.
When we played Jedi Gods, Elemental was the most fun. Like that was just ridiculous and awesome, and I had all the explosives.
Yeah, the Elemental is meant to be the Thor of the game, you know.
Las Vegas.
I like this drink. Yeah. Also, that
you are the god of thunder, not the god of hammers.
Yes. Okay, so let's just jump right into Lee's spell then.
Okay. Here, that dice. We're gonna do this real well.
And you already used your +1 forward.
I did. Six, seven, that's an 8 total, but it is doubles.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh,
two threes.
Pause. Rosalinda, you could have used your +1 forward to make that a 10. Do you want to retroactively and do less damage to the neighborhood, or do you want to save it for something later?
Let's save it for something later.
Okay, because you also still have to build the cage. That's going to be a whole other roll. So,
oh God, yeah.
Cool.
So if I provide aid and get a good enough roll, I could make your spellcasting a 10.
Yeah, if you get a 10.
I'm totally open to that.
But yeah, you'd have to get a 10 on the provide aid.
Yes, but I do have 2 tangles with him and a +1 forward.
This is yeah. Actually, I'm fine with putting +1 forward on that.
Let's see what the fates decide here. I'm choosing my dice based on color. They're different sizes and different materials.
That is
I'm sure everyone really wanted to know that.
You're a monster.
I want a dice cam.
I don't. I'm glad I don't have to see it.
Nope.
Finally, an advantage of remote gaming.
I got a threat.
Oh no.
But that could be boxcars.
No, not with that face.
Not with that face.
It could have been.
What did we get?
Snake eyes.
For a total of 4. Let's say you don't have to use the +1 forward if you don't want to.
Thank you.
Okay, so on provide aid, on a 6- you make it worse and are exposed to the same danger.
Whoops.
So, Lee,
oh Lord, it's actually not even a 4. Because I have a -1.
-1 to what?
-1.
No, there's no. Oh, for your injuries.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I forgot about that.
Oh God. Okay, well.
I love this so much.
6- is a 6-. So, Lee.
Take a threat train.
You wanted restrict movement and reveal a secret. And we're willing to take. What was the first one?
The first one was draw unwanted attention.
Yes. And then I was going to apply
take 2 harm.
Take 2 harm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lee. You get to keep your 7 to 9.
Uh-huh.
If you're willing to take both costs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Lee would do that. Lee would make that sacrifice.
And a follow-up option.
Okay.
since you've chosen to take both of them. And Trey is the one who stepped in and was obviously trying to help, but
Mhm.
as far as magical training is not as comfortable as you are.
Mhm.
And
Does not exist.
and something has shifted out of balance, even though, I mean, she was trying to be helpful. And the book was like, oh, not literally again, right? But the book is like, oh yeah, we should let her help. She knows what she's doing.
Again, trying to show deference
Right.
to
Yes.
the editrix.
So, Lee, you have a choice. Because you don't have to take this harm yourself. You can let Treyi take it. That is 100% your choice, not a dice roll. And, well, that's all I'm going to say for now.
Isn't Trey at like 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Lee's gonna take it because for no other reason, he is taking charge of this moment, and so he is
Just gathering all the strands of this back together and...
Yeah, and it's very much that, like, you kind of again see a bit of that. Oh, there's the son of a god of war. Like,
yeah, just like bearing down and... Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll take both those. So I am at 5 harm.
Yep. And the thing I was going to add on to that is, Trey, it is clear to you what happened, right? Like, you caused this to sort of get bumped out of alignment, and that direct interaction is why Lee is injured. Okay? So, it's not clear to anyone else. Lee, I'm not sure you even have a full understanding of why this all just went to hell. You just were like, well, I'm not going to let her get hurt of like whatever just happened.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you took that on yourself, but I like even better if Trey's the only one who has a clear idea of what just happened. Is that okay?
Yeah. I love that.
Trey, you're okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll just add it to the guilt pile. It'll be great.
Cool. And the book's
Do we
not going to
get
tell.
threads for guilt?
I know, right? It's like, oh, great. This is, as that every night as I go to sleep, and that you're not good enough and you don't deserve this mantra plays in my brain. I'll just add that to the pile. It'll be fantastic.
Oh, I hate it and I love it. Okay. So I was like, I'm stressed from this moment.
This whole fucking game has been like this too.
Yeah.
We're trying our best, but it's not good enough.
Where's our downtime? Okay. So, yeah, Lee, the strands of you, because you're trying to isolate the book and create this little, kind of protective spell. Well, what does your spell look like? Is it a circle on the floor? Is it a dome? Is it something you're doing to the walls in the mausoleum? Something else?
So what I think it is Lee has his hand on the book, and he's pulling. I think as he puts the hand on the book, he sees all the different. I don't want to use the term realities. That feels weird, but all the different things the book is pulling from.
Yeah,
and is effectively trying to at least temporarily like sever its connection to those other realities.
Sure.
Almost like putting linchpins in it.
Yeah. Just push them aside.
Exactly. And trying to hold them at bay.
Is
like,
do we read Ares as like a fire god? Like not an elementalist, but like we associate fire with Ares. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Fire
Hephaestus
is like Hephaestus.
Fire.
Yeah, Hephaestus
But,
and
I mean,
Apollo.
Although, if you think of it as like a tournament, because that's the thing you use in battle
Or a
a
shield wall.
Or
yeah, I mean, shield. I'm already
Yeah.
using the shields as part of my own shielding spell.
Yes.
So that
okay,
could
let's
be
keep
what it
that
is.
motif. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the there's like a ring of shield. Like how like Vikings would
phalanx?
hang their shields on the wall. There's just like a this.
Or the things that you use to keep horses from jumping over. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the barricade.
Yeah, barricade.
Little barricade kind of There's a name for them. I can't recall.
Yeah. Well,
But I like the shield because that's very much what I did when we were dealing with Seeker. I put shields around the bandhammer to try to give them
Okay, so let's keep going with that then.
Yeah.
Those kind of like little round beaten metal Greek shields. So we just create those go up on all of the walls at just head height. There's like a strip of them, right? Inside the mausoleum. And the three of you in there can feel this, the pressure lessens all the way back to what you realize it was supposed to be, right? These realities all just push out from each other, and they're now next to each other, and they're like, ding dong, like, hello, can I come in? Like, but you, Lee, have shoved them back out, and this 2 harm in my mind is just like nosebleed, eyes bleed, something, unless you had something else in mind.
No, I'm totally I love the nosebleed.
Yeah.
I also love almost again, I think it's the fact that we always associate war with red.
Yeah.
And therefore Ares was depicted as red, therefore breathes fire.
Yeah.
But I also almost like the idea of like some kind of brand or burn on Lee. Like maybe like the shield was, a certain shield was too hot and it scorched, like has a brand on his arm for it or something of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that also makes sense that, Mars being a red planet.
Yep.
That tracks.
Yeah, the Roman version of Ares. Yeah.
Definitely like a visible like flinch when this happens from Trey.
Yeah, and I think it's like we all have this image of Lee superimposed on the moment of like holding the shield up as a shower of arrows come over the palisade of, just this flash moment, and then we're back in the mausoleum, and Lee is just like cut and bloodied, and it just looks like he's been in a fight, right? And probably won the fight because he's standing, but it was.
You see the other gods.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Bless.
Nice.
Every once in a while,
beautiful.
get one.
I feel like that's threadworthy.
Yeah, I agree. Because I want to reward Clara specifically for making a pun. You take that thread and let it remind you of when you did a pun on air.
Hey, I did one.
I know you did.
Game we did. They're rare. Rare.
I'm just turning the pun hate around.
One day we'll see.
They're just that much more special for being so.
Yeah, it's like watching a dog on their hind legs.
Yeah. It's not like if Joey or I are like, I don't think of Pooja and Minerva as much as punsters, just like more like quality humorists. Where
They
Joey
don't
and I are
react
trash.
We are quantity humorists.
Yeah.
They don't react the way I do to puns.
I did unprompted make a pun yesterday, and I thought of you. I almost tagged you in it.
Oh, good. I'm proud. So let's pick up with that moment. Lee, you can feel the other realities are pushed to the side. You have the book isolated. And at this point, you could even walk the book out of here. It was just helpful to have the structure to solidify the concepts in your mind and make that happen. But you are now in a zone of singularity, right? Of single existence. So I think, Stella, were you waiting to do something?
I want to do something that has nothing to do with this situation.
Oh,
and
right.
Currently, Stella is very jealous of this apparently zone of singularity that she has opted out of.
Well, it's still something you're sort of experiencing it,
I can see it happening. I actually kind of need I need to be not in that space.
Sure. Okay. So Stella has stepped out of the mausoleum.
Yeah, I can see what's happening, but I think I'm just not I can't help them with what's happening there without fucking myself up more, I think.
Okay, cool.
I think I
And
will step
Trey, I
out
saw
of
your
the-
note as well, so that is good to know. All right, well, Stella, let's roll Pierce the Veil as you interview. And remember, in this case, you're not so much asking me, the Herald, questions. You are literally interviewing ghosts.
Yeah.
So
Stella stepped outside the mausoleum to vape, basically.
yep.
Um,
And then the vapor becomes
yes, fully
yeah.
turn in that again. She is an oracle. She does channel a lot of the spirits of. She does channel a lot of the spirits of every culture's oracle. She's just a little trash person. So she vapes.
I honestly don't mean that as against people who vape, but Stella is such the stereotypical image of somebody who thinks and talks a lot about vaping.
And fully like a little bit of like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland moment too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's
But
see
it's
if I
like the
can-
tiny, like the jewel version.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's a
Yes.
Pax pen full on like teeny shit. It's yeah.
Love it.
Oh no, I did not do well. Okay. To be fair, when I roll Pierce the Veil with my everything, I think I get I get a +1 and I roll with Fate's Favor. So excuse me while I roll with Fate's Favor.
Oh,
Sorry, I don't get a +1. I'm just gonna roll with Fate's Favor because that's a fudge. That's a 5 if it's without.
do you mean you're spending a thread to give yourself Fate's Favor?
Sorry, Read the Stars allows me to, with third eye, use Fate's Favor.
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Because I rolled Snake Eyes, but that's a 6. So I just re-rolled, so that's a 6.
Okay.
Not great,
Okay,
but
so
better.
7 plus your judgment,
Which is 3.
so 10.
Yeah, so
That's
that,
outstanding.
holy shit, yeah, that really turned it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Stella has stepped outside. She's smoking, and the vapor, the smoke, I don't know what it is, has started manifesting. Specifically, she's pulling in the spirits of some of the people who live in Hollywood forever, who are buried at Hollywood forever. Where's
Who
my list?
unlive.
Who occupy the space.
Yeah.
So my question for you, which actually she pulls up the spirit of Harrison Gray Otis,
Okay.
who is was the president and general manager of the Times Mirror Company and publisher of the Los Angeles Times. Because she has a conspiracy and she kind of needs someone who's used to putting these things together. It was either that or like one of the mobsters who's buried in there.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
maybe
No,
she
I
pulls
get
up
the
Bugsy
thinking.
Malone. Who knows?
Yep.
But yeah, so she's kind of trying to get the people who are conspiracy minded together.
Okay.
And the question I want to ask is going to be what is the greatest danger regarding the book? And I get 3 questions. Shit, yes. What is the greatest danger regarding the book?
The greatest danger is that it's capable of creating this sort of rewind reversal effect, and that effect, like flying out of control, is just incredibly like it will unage humans and animals. Like it could just have.
It's just a great power.
Yeah, I mean, it could be catastrophic if it spins out of control. It could unmake someone, right? If it completely rewound them, like.
So that feels like a bust. Okay, to Harrison, Stella sort of.
Oh, I
the
forgot.
question-
I need to be answering
that's-
this in character. Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask him specifically is the who is where did this come from? But she's kind of asking where did this circumstance come from, if that makes sense. Specifically,
Uh,
she knows Trey is in trouble.
well, we're in the presence of the new ley line position,
Yeah.
and so you can reference that instead of the book. Like you can
Oh yeah,
say
in
that
that case,
that's what we're talking about.
yeah.
As this
So-
this like trail of ghosts are walking with you, and they're sort of informed by your notion of Otis, because you don't have the specific talk to a specific dead person power yet, but you have you can see people who are dead, and you are near where Otis was buried.
Yes. I'd say it's the text on the ability says you may direct your questions at any spirits. I'm not investigating anyone's murder. I just need conspiracy brains.
Yeah, and that's what you've got. You have spirits in the area who are conspiracy minded.
Yeah. So in the spirit of the fact, because I'm worried about Trey and all of the stuff that weird stuff that's happened to her specifically. And I want to know who's after her, because I couldn't figure that out before.
Sure. So the oh my god, conspiracy is very good, Nitrina.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
not to look at it.
It's very good. God
I
damn
It's
saw
it.
better
it.
than anything that we've thrown out ever.
I saw it
Beautiful.
and I blocked it from my mind. I Dan hammered
It's
it.
very good.
It's
Okay. So
You sat in it for a second.
The theory that the spirits around you want to put forward, they all kind of like put their heads together, and they have this like kind of horrific, scratchy whispering, of their collective voices.
That stands.
It's the sound of a thousand people screaming their voices raw at a whatever concert afterwards, what their voices sound like.
Yeah. Why is anything that anytime Stella uses her ability, it's never pleasant. It's just it sucks.
No. The group of them come back, and there's almost they don't have like super clear facial expressions, but you get this sense of like being a little bit confused by the question, like, well, he wants to kill her.
I hate playing the pronoun game. Most of my friends are poly. You can't do that.
You know who sent the seeker.
Like,
But that was so out of care. That was media, not
Yeah.
media. It never goes by he. Like that, her pronouns are she, her.
yeah, that's confusing.
So that maybe they're confused. They may be operating on imperfect information. But I will say they even. So I want to try to structure this more like a conversation.
Yeah, of
rather
course.
than you asking the GM question. So we'll have a little back and forth. Like what is your
Yeah.
response to that without looking
He's
at the questions, right? Just in conversation.
Yeah, no. He's me. You don't. Well, I went to movies because movies has been fucking with us for a while.
Yes, he has. That's why he wants to kill her.
Video killed the radio star. Why? I'm very confused on this. Okay, that's not news. It just seems like a weird play now. Would he have sent the seeker for Trey and missed?
That's possible. She was supposed to be here.
And
Or he's not worried about hurting her, or her friends might be good enough to him.
we didn't do anything.
So if you want to try and work your third question into the conversation, that's
Yeah. Okay. In that case, the last one is like the one I'm trying to get to from there is the like, where do I find movies?
Mm.
That's not fair for like, we didn't do anything. And Trey is royalty. This is not up for debate if media wants to keep her. How does media not know this? How is, wait, hold on. Is, if can movies make a move like that?
He watches what you do. He tells
Yes.
on you.
To media?
Yes. He thinks this, and the spirits all sort of like creepily move and gesture at the same time, like 10 of them,
Mm-hmm.
gesture at the cemetery. He thinks this is his. But
I'm gonna.
they are not. They belong to Trey's mother. That is her realm. Oh, Pooja, did we have pronouns for books?
I think of books as they, them.
Okay, well then I'll say they. Yeah. They.
I'm gonna pivot my question, but
The
no, I think
Trey's
the answer is
parent.
where can I find them? Because that's because the real question I want to ask is how do we stop them?
Mm-hmm.
But that's too much. How do I solve the story we're telling?
Well, just to give you some like structure answers or of like just what the setting is that you would know anyway,
Yeah.
is books or movies or whatever like would not come here directly,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
They would send a demigod to do it because they are basically restricted to their realm, right?
Yeah, and acting through us, I have a better question then.
And the
And
studio
is-
that they all live at is like combination Afterlife and Mount Olympus, and it's a combination of those things.
In that case, my last question, if you'll allow it, is who is movies acting through then?
You met him when
I
he
thought so.
when he disturbed our graves, and they seem
thought
like
so.
very angry. I would say even Stella, like they are like exuding a chill, and I don't know what you could. I don't want to like characterize Stella for you, but like, to what extent would she be frightened?
I to be fair, I don't think anything scares Stella because her life is a nightmare. However, she's a fairly mild person on the outside. So I think she's getting agitated with them.
Sure. And I think they're also impressing on her the idea of being trapped in a box.
Yeah.
And then being forced to do someone's bidding,
And that's the worst thing to her also, is this like idea of your life is not your own.
Yeah, that agency being taken away, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're so she's not scared, but she's getting agitated the way like prey animals get agitated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never got the name of that kid, did we?
No, because we'd kind of done it as backstory, but I think it's a name we should have. So we should name this person.
Well, I think we can name them later if we want.
Okay.
But I think that's enough for Stella to be. I understand. Okay. I think we're going to need to have a talk. Yeah.
So I'm picturing the like lankiest, like scrawny white boy, stringy black hair.
I know exactly who. I'm gonna find the
black
picture.
shirt, black jeans, Docs.
You leave the goths out of this.
Theater. No, not a proper goth. A goth may do so with self-respect. This is the but what's it called? The theater school, not theater school, but for TV.
The film school dude?
Film school
Yeah,
nerd.
shitty film school nerd.
Yeah. Like,
oh no.
No disrespect to our friends who are actually film school like artists and like good people. But we know the person I'm talking about, right?
In the pursuit of shitting on myself, I would like to ask if he is Stella's ex, one of them.
Oh. Well, no, because demigods can't hang out.
That's true, they can't.
Unless
Never
he was
mind.
recently adopted.
Well, that'll be up to you then.
At least a year.
Yeah, it would be at least a year.
It
Was
would be
Stella
like-
adopted?
No, Stella manifested at like 6, because that's what Stella's
That's right.
breakdown originally was.
That's right.
Is that she manifested it.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been adopted by movies, you know.
He
in
could have,
his-
or we could have run in the same circles at any point. Stella's been around movie people.
You know what? I actually like the idea that he got the attention of movies in being such a like
Douchebag.
sweaty, douchey stereotype, and movies is like, that's my guy, right?
So, who
The
I'm seeing,
indictment of my entire industry being so accurate is literally causing me psychic damage right now.
I'm
It's so
sorry.
funny because it gives me life. This is like affirming me.
the casting I have in my brain, if anybody watched the 2020 The Stand miniseries,
Yeah.
the person who they cast is Harold Lauder. Like,
Oh.
Oh.
that's very much who you're describing. His hair's not black, but that's the only thing missing.
Yeah, that's actually how
Oh,
he's
shit.
described in the book too. I didn't realize that. I just
Yeah, he is.
yeah.
Perfect.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's my
this.
fan cast. Yeah.
Owen Teague is his name.
Yes.
It's probably a delightful human being, but this character was like so icky.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely dated this dude in real life.
Yeah.
Not this actor, but like I went to film
I
school.
was
you
like,
guys.
wow, you went there.
Yep.
No, but I went to film school. I know exactly who this person is.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't mean to paint everyone who went to film school with this brush, but
There's so
Stereo-
many of them.
Yes.
Like
Stereotypes
my
exist for a
professor
reason.
who told me I'd never be like a good film person. There was a whole term he had for it because I didn't see deeply enough into the movies that he was showing us.
what a
Me drinking
okay.
was a mistake at that moment.
Yep.
I'm just doing this in my career in making television.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
also
you.
work out of spite.
Good for you.
This is why we're friends.
Okay, so we now have an idea of who that demigod was, who was trying to create this sort of like zombie revival vibe, right? And mess with you all for kind of like taking over his turf, I guess. His impression of what is his turf. And we know like books and movies have said like, no, we don't have a problem with each other on, you know, publicly. Like that's never been expressed as an issue, but you all have a problem with him. Can we just call him? No, we can't say Harold Lauder. That's not good.
Two on the nose.
Also, I'm the Herald.
Oh, yeah, that gets confusing.
There can be only one.
Hold on, I'm pulling up a rant. My brain says Simon because Simon was the dweeby dude that we picked on in Lighthearted.
Okay.
He's our arc light nemesis.
Simon something. Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Simon Simmons.
Oh,
Uh,
I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
It's done. It's in my notes. So
Fucking Simon. I think that is that when that's how Stella ends that connection is fucking Simon.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right.
that is the short of it is that Simon told on you to movies.
Simon says.
Mm-hmm.
I took
Simon
psychic damage.
Simon says shit.
I took psychic damage. I think so. Like in the background, they're all act like the rest of the weave is like doing real cool shit, like getting this done, and Stella is smoking and talking to dead people.
I love it.
Like
And
you do.
she just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but part of the reason this conversation is so successful is because the ghosts in Hollywood forever are real mad at him. Like, it's not that they don't really have feelings about movies as a deity, but this demigod is the one who fucked with their lives, right? And that's the issue.
Okay.
But to be clear, they've only said he tells on you. Right? That's
Yeah.
I know we the players understand what's happening, but for Stella's to interpret that as, you can take that as you will, but he tells on you is what they said.
Funny that I picked the publisher of a newspaper for like, hey, who's gossiping about us? Stella probably stalks back to the group at that point. I don't know if you guys would have noticed her. I want to make a lore bid, which is stupid because like that's not how this game works. Which is like, do we understand how the hierarchy, like Trey is royalty, but like, what does that mean?
I think that a component of the lore is that's somewhat unclear because you can't have a face-to-face conversation with your deities.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you go to the afterlife. That's an easy way to speak to them.
Which apparently I'm well on my way to doing.
I was going to say, we're all working on it, man.
Yep. Right there with you.
I mean, the Reaper
Stella
has a move. The Reaper has a move to visit an afterlife.
Stella stalks back to the group and is like, and like she looks.
And you all have a move on your playbooks to visit the afterlife. Tracy almost unlocked it.
Die. She stalks back and she like looks more agitated actually. Like it's very much like, Lassie, what's wrong?
But you come back in as Lee is like spitting blood and like holding himself up on the like stone coffin, like whatever is. Lee, what is your like physicality in this moment?
So yeah, absolutely spitting blood. That's absolutely. I definitely want that. So it looks like he has taken a knee and he's trying to get himself back up, but his hand has never left the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that is like up on a coffin or something at this point.
Like his job was to defend the book, and in this metaphysical war that happened, that was his job, and the book held. He held the book, so his hand never left the book, but it's definitely like hand up, him down, like trying to lift himself back up.
Just blood spattered down the side of this sort of like white stone coffin, and yeah.
Lee, you look like a hedgehog, just like metaphysical arrows. You're fine. No one can see them, but Stella.
Trey, what is your situation in the mausoleum there?
I think I'm helping Lee back up to his feet.
Oh, okay.
Like I've got my, like doing the, like, put your arm around my shoulders. I'm leaning real heavily into this this kind of like silverware grace.
Sure, yeah.
In order to do this without re-dislocating my arm.
Something I realized I should have reminded you all about a little while ago, which it doesn't always apply, but recall that you can spend threads to reduce an amount of harm that you just took. That doesn't. Now that doesn't count for the consequences of your actions, right? So like the cost of casting your spell, you wouldn't be able to reduce that harm, but the consequence of rolling a 6- on getting blasted by a book through the roof would have been like we could have taken that opportunity to spend a thread. And I'm sorry I didn't remind you all that is a thing.
I would have actually had to have threads to.
Oh, you were okay. Well, you were empty anyway, so then that's fine. But just as a reminder,
I was a failure as a metagamer in terms of getting threads prior to that point.
While taking harm, like in that moment, you can spend 1 thread to reduce 2 harm, and you can do multiples, right? You can reduce 2, 4, 6, 10 harm if you want to spend 5 threads. So, well, you can't spend 5 because you can't hold 5. If anyone has 5 threads, you have to buy an advancement right away, right? In case that wasn't clear. Okay, so Trey is actually getting Lee by the elbow and like trying to get him up on his feet.
Yeah, like draping your arm around my shoulders and like I've got you around the ribs and like that whole don't make me fireman's carry you. I will break both of us. It'll be messy.
No, I got it. It's fine. I'm fine. Let's just get the book to the ley line, and we can fix this, and it'll be done.
That's actually kind of sweet.
Oh, that hurt.
It's a real pietà situation here, isn't it? Just a full Saint Sebastian imitation on Lee's part. At least that's what Stella can see.
And like just as you talk about how badly it looks, I like flinch a little more.
Apropos of nothing, can I borrow Rosalinda to go beat up another demigod?
We need her to build the fence first.
Yes. And also beat up Simon.
I am not missing out on beating up Simon.
This is a group activity.
No one is keeping me from that fight. If I have to get her to build me an entirely new silverware skeleton.
Could you use someone else's silverware? I'm officially out of spoons.
That was good. I like that.
I don't have enough silverware. Also, I don't think my silverware is actually made of silver.
All right. So in the mausoleum, the book is isolated and protected. We're basically ready to march it down to the street because the ley line moved to that street that goes not to Paramount, but some other side of the cemetery. Right, I think we'd established that, right? Like it went down the street that the elote truck was on, which was what was so jarring about everything that happened. So I think the three of you are ready to like kind of pick up the book and Reservoir Dogs your way out of there. Okay.
I was hoping to look more like Reservoir Dogs at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that was not the scene from Reservoir Dogs I'm imagining.
Okay. So,
Checks me sure I have both ears.
All right.
It's on Gower now. I'm just calling it.
Okay, great. It's on Gower. And Rosalinda, you've been out drawing all of this copper to you. Let's do, ironically, a metal roll.
You liked it.
I did.
But I liked it because I didn't even plan it ahead of time. I'm just real happy it happened. Oh, wait. Oh, I was being cute and I'm wrong. Oh, we have to bend fate.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
How
I
dare
may burn a thread to get Fate's favor, but I have the +1. I got the +1.
Yeah, take your +1 for this. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where's the whammies? 1 plus a 5 is a 6, plus a 0 on weird is a 6, plus a 1 is a 7.
Oh, you got a 1 and a 6 on the dice.
1 and a 5.
A 1 and a 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can smell. 1
Okay.
and 5, so that's 6.
And then +1 from the forward, right? Okay, that's 7.
7.
Okay.
7.
Limped right over into that not as shitty category.
Yep. So your gift does something beyond its normal limits. You are fashioning this, essentially like a copper arbor over the, like this arch over the street. And it is coming together. It's sort of reaching, the two sides are kind of tendriling up to meet at the top. And the thing I think that's frustrating is you kept trying to incorporate, because Rosalind is also an artist, right? And you were trying to incorporate these like cool structural elements, and you lost some time. Like, God, why doesn't this work? Fucking like,
how dare you?
Yeah, you couldn't get it to sit exactly the way you wanted to. So we don't get to add on like a fancy extra boon or anything. But you still have to take 1 bane. But you can pick.
One of my gifts is unusable for the scene.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna be stunned for a few moments. Be
Hmm.
stunned
Okay.
because I didn't get it done in time. It's like, how dare.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, you got it done. It just is not as pretty as it should have been.
Yeah. I just got it done. I didn't get it perfect.
Yeah. And you kind of just like sit down in the grass, like
Fine.
kind of, yeah.
Be that way.
All right. Perfect. So yeah, we have the other three of you kind of walking down the grass, seeing what Rosalinda has built. Lee and Stella, you can already feel the like ripples, like the magic eddies that are forming around this arch. Like it doesn't matter that it's not a dome, it's creating a dome-like effect. And the it's like if the ley line were a live wire, this part of it just went dead. Like it's no longer like you could. It's now safe to touch the third rail, that's like even before you get close to it, you can feel that like quietness, and as you approach, it's the perfect time to roll credits. So, I have to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight to listen. I have to thank my players for being the best, except for the one who knows that they're not. But
Just adds to the list of the litany of why you're the worst before I go to bed.
I'm fine with that.
Is it me? Is it me?
Hold on. We have to say this. Nitrina, that last pun, also, I took too long to get.
Eddie
and
Wizard.
Eddie Wizard.
Oh, I'm
That's so
alive.
good.
The punification.
I'm resurrected.
On point.
Nitrina, you have found your people.
Eddie Wizard is with us. I'm gonna go do a bunch of Pearl Jam song title puns. Okay, Pro Glam. Okay, yep, we're good. We're good. So, folks, thanks so much for joining us live or later. Your only two options to watch the show.
That we know of so far.
Thank you. And we hope you'll join us next time. Let's go around and say a little bit about what we're up to. Pooja.
Hello, I am Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at LADaisy That's LADESI girl. Pretty much all the other socials is forgotten saves, in case you were wondering who was in the chat there with you. You can find me on the back catalog of Happy Jack's RPG and currently on 12-Sided Stories podcast. At the end of October, I will be dusting off those incredibly rusty small amount of GM skills that I have because I ran the 12-Sided Stories Halloween special this year. Come
so
solve
excited to listen to that.
mysteries with us.
It's like the fact that it is recorded and sitting somewhere is like you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Come get your Murder She Wrote on Halloween. And if you're in the mood for something a little more spooky, we did a Bluebeard's Bride AP for the rest of Halloween. Or for the
Is
rest
that
of
out yet?
October. The first 2 episodes are out.
Oh my gosh. My
I highly recommend watching
podcatcher
them
has failed me.
in the middle of the night with the lights all off, but I am not responsible for any nightmares you may have from doing so.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. Let's go this way. Minerva.
Hi guys, I am Minerva and you can catch me on the social medias as blue_troller. I am live on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, twitch.tv/blue_troller, where you can catch me drawing the things. And then every last Saturday of the month is a drink and draw, where you guys can watch me drink and then fail at the drawing or whatever as I drink the things.
I have to interrupt and say that your drunk drawing skills put other people's sober
It's
drawing skills to
infuriating.
shame.
Yeah, it's
One of these days, I want
It's
to try
mean.
to co-drink and draw, but our time
Oh.
zone makes that hard.
Do it.
One day,
Well,
maybe
it's earlier
we
for us though. You just have to start drinking at 5.
I still
Right.
have
Is
to
that a
work at
problem?
5. That might change. We'll see.
But Sundays. Are you working on Sundays?
I mean,
Or Saturdays, rather?
oh yeah, I work Saturday.
Oh, fuck those people.
Yeah, remember?
No,
Boo.
I don't. That's why I said it.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, and stuff. And I'm waiting on proofs for my What If watercolor Marvel poster that I just finished. So that'll be
Very
on
So
cool.
sale
good.
soon.
I'd be
Ah.
ordering one of those immediately.
It is
I have-
so good.
Is it in
super fun.
is it in a what's that called? Not landscape format, but panorama?
No, it's just like 12 by 18-ish.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
just-
like almost panorama proportion, but that's
Probably.
fine.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
remember. Yeah, but yeah.
Joey.
Oh, hi. I'm Joey, and you can find me on all the socials at Feywild85, FEYWILD85. I'm sorry, FEYWILDE85. I know how to spell my own handle. Also, you can catch me every Monday night at the Happy Jacks playing with Jason and Clara, a completely different character. This time, I'm the fuck up.
Wait, how is that completely different again?
Well, he's the outwardly fuck up,
Lee's at least trying.
right? But watch us play The Drop, which is the game with Apologies to Traveler that Jason is working on, and it's a lot of fun, and it's absolute shenanigans, and you can watch me try to do really, really interesting things with makeup. Someone who's never really done makeup before.
No,
So
it
it's
looked really good though. It was fun.
Love it.
It's
I'm
always
glad.
looked so good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad it's working because I don't know. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, I think Clara should talk now.
Hi, I'm Clara. I am all over the internet as clearly_golden, unless you're into mermaids, in which you can find me on Instagram as mermaid_clarity. And I finally got photos back from my birthday Catalina trip with my my baby, my autumn priestess tail. So, you know, for once in a blue moon, that Instagram is actually active. Otherwise, I am on Happy Jacks every Monday playing The Drop with two of these delightful people. And I play Irsa, who is also kind of the opposite of Stella. It keeps her brains steady. Irsa is my heart of gold, fists of steel, stomach of tin.
Yeah. Ursa has actually really good Rosalinda vibes. To
Yeah,
me.
actually.
Like yeah.
Yeah, genuinely, it's like real Rosalinda vibes. She's so sad on the inside. Which every time I talk about her, I'm like, I suggest things. I'm like, oh God, this is sad, isn't it? That keeps happening.
Okay, so any other announcements? Nope. Okay, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. I'm going to take us to our end screen and see if we have anyone to raid. I think Power Play is back on, so we're probably going to go for that.
Yeah.
And we will see you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.